The Nation of Yahweh presents The Unfolding Light. Today's show is brought to you by Builders of the Highway Foundation, Yahweh Life Center, Neo Jazz School of Music, Yahweh Education Centers, and the Temple of Brothers and Sisters of Goodwill. And now for your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael.
Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to the Nation of Yahweh's weekly teleconference, The Unfolding Light. I am your host, Dr. Lud Yisrael, along with my co-host, Sister Tamar. Boker Tov, sister.
Boker Tov.
Well, praise Yahweh as always. It is a great day in Yahweh. It is a great day to know Yahweh, and it is a great day to see Yahweh clean up the earth and destroy the wicked. That's what it's all about. Yahweh is doing his works, but we have to do our part. Today on Unfolding Light, we'll have Who is Yahweh by the Most Honorable, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Directly after that, we'll have the keynote message from the master teacher, the founder of the Nation of Yahweh, the Most Honorable, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And directly after that, we'll have the part where we all take part in unfolding the light, and we call it Power Talk. And now I invite you all to stand and face the east with outstretched hands as we offer up a prayer to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, deliver us from this wicked heathen, so that we can give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuteraka, Yiazeh Rizonka, Kim Vashumayim Kain Ba'aretz, El Lekam Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimo Sasol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayam, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kelaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leola May, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And now, who is Yahweh? By the Most Honorable, Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of the name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches, and the same names that white people have? I mean, have you noticed? You do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers? And black folks' prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude. You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered. Well, why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accepted? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia. They come from Europe. They come from England. They come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pockets. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else it makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible, and it's traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yahweh. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exceptions. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said, in his holy word that if I obey his law, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands, it's prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the Son has to come in his Father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. If your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for accepting the mission to come and resurrect us and redeem us back to Yahweh, reconcile us back to Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. And now a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who followed his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the greater Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, believers, and supporters in thousands of cities across the United States of America and indeed throughout the four corners of the earth. The University of Yahweh, for which he has established the curriculum and for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence, currently has locations across the United States. The moral teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh is bringing about a change in the lives of individuals and causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based on the scripture which reads, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Yahweh ben Yahweh continues to give. That which he is given cannot be measured in monetary wealth. Yahweh ben Yahweh is giving the world the keys to success in life politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem. Isn't that amazing that Yahweh designed Feast of Tabernacles for his children to keep forever? While at the same time, it's designed to bless all the families of the earth, all the nations of the earth. Isn't that interesting? That eliminates all other nations from being jealous of us being chosen by Yahweh. And in history, they've been jealous of us. Look at them. They're all rich, sophisticated, upright, upstanding people, moral and clean. We can't do anything to them because Yahweh has his arms wrapped around them, protecting them. Look at them. He has them all fixed up in a city. They got all the gold and the silver and the jewels and the money. I mean, they get jealous of you when you have all that rich stuff. Huh? I hate those Jews, man. They got all the money. That's what people say on earth. Try to run them out of all countries because they got all the money. They got all the money. That's what they say. Well, they sure gonna have to get jealous of me because I'm going for all of it. All the money. Praise Yahweh. And I don't want anybody following me that doesn't want all the gold and silver. Don't come near me with your post out. Praise Yahweh. I don't want a poor-minded person around me. The poor can't go to heaven. Say, well, what about that scripture that says, blessed are the poor and the meek, for they shall inherit? Yeah, but you have to change. And you read where you have to change? Yeah, you shall inherit, but not because you stay poor. Can't you imagine how much hell there would be in heaven with a bunch of poor folk in it? Walking up to the angels talking about, loan me $10 till Friday, angel. No, don't come up to me trying to borrow nothing. To come into Yahweh's heaven, you have to be rich. Well, gosh, Yahweh been Yahweh? I've never been rich in my life. That's why I'm coming to you, to help you to be rich. That's what I'm here for, to make you rich. I didn't come to take anything from you, and I never have. I only come to give you an abundance of life, an abundance of wealth. That's all I've done. That's all I'm doing. You give me your pennies, and I give it back to you in dollars. The world is a witness. It's a miracle how I am building what I am with your pennies. It's a miracle. And then there are all the parasites all around trying to take from us. How many are ready for heaven on earth? Tired of wars and hell and hunger. And that's what I'm here to bring. Peace on earth forever. Can't have peace and be broke. Won't be no homeless folk living in my kingdom. I'll have all of them out. They'll be picking peanuts or something. You will not eat in the kingdom of heaven and don't work. Only man I found they'll listen to is Yahweh. Now they'll stop and listen to Yahweh. It's because Yahweh is God. He's the black man's God. He's your God. It's not important right now that he's the God of everybody. The point is he's your God. Yahweh really is your God. And the God of Israel is the only God. That's what you have to know. Praise Yahweh. And I'm the only one allowed to tell you and teach you. Nobody else is allowed to teach you. But America is designed for my coming. I wouldn't come to any other country but America. Can you imagine me coming to Tiananmen Square? Huh? Nah, man, I don't speak Chinese. I'm not going over there putting up no Statue of Liberty. Not in China, I'm not. It's already here. All you have to do is take advantage of the opportunity. The opportunity for you to be righteous is wide open here. There's no law in America that prevents you from being good. There's not one law on the books of America that will stop you from being upright, ethical, moral, and honest, and honorable. There's nothing to prevent you from being an eminent people, a people of high repute. Praise Yahweh. And there are plenty of laws on the books against your being a criminal, and there ought to be. Because I sure have plenty of laws to teach you about not being a criminal. The laws of Yahweh say, thou shalt not steal. That's clear. And I wouldn't need a prison for thieves. I solved that problem. Yahweh's laws that I teach say, thou shalt not kill. And we wouldn't have to worry about whether there's a prison for people who kill. Won't be any prisons. Under my rule, I will eliminate all prisons. I'll never work and pay $40,000 a year to keep some criminal alive in a prison. The laws of Yahweh are very clear about killers. The only people who don't want to see Yahweh's laws in effect that solve all crime are those who get rich from criminals. The system of America is designed to get rich from criminal activity. It's designed for criminals. The only ones that have rights are criminals. Victims of crime don't have any rights right now. But there's opportunity in America for a crime-free society. Yes, it's opportunity. America is wide open for an opportunity for you to have pornography wide open on every corner, have a whorehouse on every corner. That opportunity exists in America. If that's what the people want, they can all get together, vote it in, that's what it is. That doesn't mean Yahweh will condone it and let it last forever, but you have that opportunity. So you have an opportunity in America to have no pornography at all. You have an opportunity in America to be poor, and you have an opportunity to be rich. I love this opportunity here. You have to be crazy not to love this opportunity that's afforded you in America. This is the world's greatest land of opportunity. Right here, I just love it. You have an opportunity to be good and nobody can stop you. You have an opportunity to own Miami, to own Dade County. You can own every square inch of it if you want to. That's your opportunity. Ask the Cubans. Y'all who are not from here, read, go around and ask who are the Cubans. They'll tell you they own Miami. When they own it in the last 20 years. Came off the boat from Cuba with nothing. But everybody came to America with nothing. Huh? Everybody was an immigrant to America, the land of the wilderness, but it was an opportunity. World's greatest experiment. You have an opportunity to change your ghetto into heaven. It doesn't have to stay a ghetto. You have the opportunity to change it. I'm changing it block by block to give you an example. I'm an example. My people who don't know Yahweh wanted to blame Reagan for having nothing. Now they want to blame Bush for having nothing. I accomplished everything I have under Reagan and Bush without help of either. Proving what? The opportunity is here in Yahweh. And that's what Feast of Tabernacles is all about, is to remind us of our history, which is our past. And by studying our history, we can see the pitfalls of when we reject Yahweh's laws, we were cursed, put in slavery, suffer. When we return to Yahweh, we're blessed. So I invite you to the season of blessings. You no longer have to be cursed. You can be blessed. All you have to do is come into the knowledge of that.
Yahweh, been Yahweh, because of you I exist.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh for this message. You have an opportunity to be righteous. And with righteousness come the wealth of Yahweh. Wow, what a message. We do have a lot to discuss in Power Talk. But of course, before we get there, we do have a word from our sponsors and our community calendar from our illustrious Sister Tamar. Praise Yahweh.
Neo Jazz School of Music is an educational institute whose primary purpose is to rescue our children through music and the arts. Music and arts programs are scientifically proven to expand the intellectual capacity of the student in areas such as math and science. In addition, students of music and the arts make for well-rounded, productive members of society, no matter what career path they choose. Neo Jazz School of Music currently provides education and training to community youth in the greater New Orleans area.
Good enough! Yay! Oh my gosh, we accomplished life!
1, 2, ready, go.
The Neo Jazz Collective, it's a way for young people to have an opportunity to show their creativity, exhibit their talents, and then perform in spaces that are moral, ethical, and learn how to turn their music into a business. We also offer programs where they learn how to protect their intellectual property when they create music and how to monetize their performances.
Know and rest your mind ashore. Our eyes have seen his works before. And until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise.
YahwehRadio.com. 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 YahwehRadio.com.
Hey, shalom and blessing, y'all. This is Author Jeremiah Israel coming to you live. Listen, I'm so excited because my ebook version of The Spiritual Significance of a Name is now available. You can go to my website today at www.jeremiahisrael.com. Now, this ebook is pretty much available anywhere and everywhere that ebook is sold. I'm so excited about that because, see, ebooks are sold internationally, but I would like for you to go to my website at www.jeremiahisrael.com, pick up your copy, or you can go ahead and download the ebook version of it. Whether you're on a plane, whether you're traveling, whatever you're doing, pick up this copy. It's only $4.99. It's not going to break your pockets and not going to, break the bank. So go ahead and get the copy of this ebook now, today, $4.99. Go to jeremiahisrael.com and truly become blessed, because it will truly put you on a path to defining your true purpose. Until next time, peace and prosperity.
Well, praise Yahweh. The Nation of Yahweh and Yahweh Education Center invites our family in the Orlando area to visit the Yahweh Education Center, conveniently located at 750 South Orange Blossom Trail, Suite 26, Orlando, Florida. We also invite you to join us for live talk every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today on Live Talk, episode 17, a live conversation about Kwanzaa. Our guests will share benefits of the principles and how they can promote growth in your life and the community. Live Talk is hosted by Brother Jeremiah, author Jeremiah Yisrael, and Minister Samuel Boaz from the Orlando Yahweh Education Center. Special in-guest studio, Brother Ajamu Nishe, and a cooperative specialist, Sister Tamar Yisrael, and Miss Finance Pro, Sister Abigail Yisrael from Orlando. So join us for live talk today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can join it on Live Talk Orlando on Facebook, or you can visit jeremiahisrael.com to get the event Zoom link, and on Facebook at Live Talk Orlando. The Nation of Yahweh and Builders of the Highway Foundation invites our family in the Miami area to visit the Yahweh Education Center, located at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. Please join us today for a Shabbat class at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do also invite you to stay tuned to the Unfolding Light Weekly for more information and announcements about classes, fellowship, fundraising activities at the Yahweh Education Center, Miami. And we are also excited to announce the opening of the Neo Jazz School of Music, Miami. So stay tuned to the Unfolding Light Weekly for more information, and visit the Yahweh Education Center, Miami at 1065 Northwest 108th Street, Miami, Florida. The Nation of Yahweh invites our family in the Riviera Beach, Florida area to join us for a study class every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you're interested in attending this class, please contact our family in the Riviera Beach, Florida area at area code 561-719-9527. Again, that's 561-719-9527. Join us this weekend for our health seminars We invite you to your health seminars every Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join us on Saturday for Being and Becoming Healthy, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. The dial-in number for Saturday's class is 732-434-3669. Again, that's 732-434-3669. Then join us again on Sunday for Being and Becoming Clean, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the prescription for eternal life. And there is a dial-in number for Sunday's class, and that number is 339-207-6011. Again, that's 339-207-6011. The Neo Jazz School of Music is excited to announce the development of the property located at 1701 St. Anthony Street in New Orleans into the Yahweh Life Center. The Neo Jazz School of Music has a mission to enact a positive change in the families of our communities through an education in music, fine arts, and to provide cultural education, training, and diversity to our community. In carrying out this mission, we have developed properties in the greater New Orleans area that serve to support the enhancement of quality of life. The Yahweh Life Center will support the spiritual growth, economic development, political empowerment, educational enhancement, social and cultural development of our communities worldwide. YahwehRadio.com and your support of YahwehRadio.com has been instrumental in the development of this new facility. And we want you to stay tuned to Yahweh Radio, because coming soon, we will have a new podcast starting this week. We have two new podcasts only on YahwehRadio.com. So if you have subscribed to YahwehRadio.com, you will be able to access these two new podcasts, but
you'll be able to listen to these new podcasts. They will be broadcasted on.
There you go. Thank you.
Yahweh Radio. Yes.
So
ma'am.
I'm excited about these two new
only exclusively on Yahweh Radio.
So if you haven't subscribed, visit Yahweh Radio, YahwehRadio, YahwehRadio.com.
One word. Yahweh Radio.
Well, the Nation of Yahweh Publishing is also on the move. We have polo shirts, How to Study the Bible 2.0, Our True History, The World's Best Kept Secret, How to Overcome the World, and of course, The Spiritual Significance of a Name by brother author Jeremiah Yisrael. We want to encourage you to continue to support this effort, because this effort is leading up to a greater effort that will support and help sustain our nation. So visit thenationofyahweh.com. That's the nation of YHWH.com. Click on store, but also visit thenationofyahweh.com for information, updates, and also visit the unfoldinglight.com and YahwehBenYahweh.biz. We encourage you to stay social with us: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Well, we are back for Power Talk, time for Power Talk. And I was just thinking about, part of the message that the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh iterated was that you can't be poor-minded and think you're going to enter into heaven. Now that's very deep, even though, we have to look at it on a physical level, as far as the haves and the have-nots, but it's not poverty and riches is not about how much you have and how much you have not. Some people think that if you have no money, then you're in poverty. but there are plenty of people who own thousands of acres of land, and they don't have a whole lot of money. Now you tell me, where's the wealth? Well, the wealth ain't in the money. The wealth is in something that is valuable, and that land is valuable. So in essence, they have a whole lot of wealth, but they may not have a whole lot of money. You know, that's just like with millionaires buying fine art and buying different real estate homes and different things. That's not about spending money. Those things appreciate. Those things go up in value. And when they sell them, they make more money than they spent. So that's more of a wealthy minded person. Mm-hmm. You know, you'll spend a certain amount, invest a certain amount, and then liquidate that or sell it, turn it over, and make a profit. That's a poor-minded person goes to work, come home, sit down, wait, do whatever recreational or whatever they feel it necessary to do until they have to go back to work. You know, they don't seek to free themselves from that particular system of working most of your life, and then you retire and then you pass away, you know, and that's your life. Well, that's your life as a servant or a slave to a business that affords that family riches. Whether it be a corporation, whether it be a mom or pop, whatever it is, when you work for a job until you retire from that job, you working for all these years and retire. Those 30 years plus that you worked for that business was stayed in business and was prosperous. And the profit went to those who own that business. And a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times they didn't do any physical work. They just reaped the benefits, especially the children of those people who started these companies. They reaped the benefits without ever having to put their hands on the product. No production on their part, but all of the benefits, where all of the production is on the employee part, but there's no benefits. How about being a producer or employee for yourself? You know, Yahweh be Yahweh say he got jobs for everybody.
There's like so praise Yahweh. There's so much to unpack in this conversation, and it's you know, I'm excited about, you know, so many different pieces of it. But I want to take a step, just one moment, into the word that's framing your conversation that you're sharing, which is the word wealth. And you mentioned, and you kind of, you know, lifted out that wealth is not the, you know, the degree of substances that one has obtained or the amount of money.
Right.
And so I wanted to dig into that just a little bit, because it just is amazing when you get to the root and the core and the understanding of where words come from and how they shape reality and our understanding of it. Right. There's such a distinct difference. So when we look at this word wealth, you know, I went back to the Hebrew etymology of the word wealth, which is kayil. And that can be done through our studies. We use the 10-step study method, which teaches us that, you know, every word has a historical root, but we go through a process of digging deeper to find that context. So we have more information about the 10-step study method on the Nation of Yahweh. So praise Yahweh. But this word wealth and kayil in the Hebrew context is used in the Bible as strength, might, efficiency, arming, ability, efficiency, and force. And it says probably a force, whether of men as definition, means or other resources. I want to stop
means and resources.
Means and or resources. And what you just broke down in your describing of our connection to wealth is you describe the process by which we are the laborers in the production of wealth in this country, but we don't actually have ownership,
no stake in it,
in that wealth. And so now this brings me back to what Yahweh ben Yahweh shared in the conversation. And he talked about how our feasts are designed, specifically the Feast of Tabernacles is designed for his children to keep forever and to bless all families on the planet.
Right.
And this feast also in being good in alignment with the laws of Yahweh, we have so many opportunities, even here in America, and Yahweh ben Yahweh listed out those opportunities. And one of the key elements he listed was you have an opportunity to own.
And the whole country. Almost anything in this country, you can own it, you can buy it.
But the relationship to our labor and the acquisition of wealth is the thing that really stands out to me, because we generally, as a force, as a army of people, as a general group of people, we don't own our labor. And so the Feast of Tabernacles gives us an opportunity to recognize, how productive we can be in our collectiveness.
Right.
How productive we can be in coming together and gathering.
Even the word, the etymology of the word, as it takes us back to, a force, a group of people, coming together, which, that's like an army or any type of organization where you organize for the common goal of the organization. Business is not structured for the common goal of the employee. There's no goal of the employee. There's only a goal of the owner, and he pays the employee to get the job done. And that's the opposite of wealth, because you can't get rich or you can't get wealth. Try to get wealth working a job. It's impossible, especially the job. We're not talking about these high paid careers where you get all kinds of perks and stuff like, CEOs for this and that. We're not talking about upper management. Those people are the ones who benefit from the lower management, the mid management, the common worker. They benefit from that until they have a degree of wealth, but it's not the wealth of the owner. But still in the chain there at the top of that working class. And yes, of course, the people at the top do the very least amount of work. They do more thinking. And most of the time we know, the worker knows that their thinking is totally off base and not worth what they're getting paid to think about or what they're thinking of. So anyway, another point is, you had started mentioning it about the opportunities that we have in this country. And Yahweh ben Yahweh started out by saying, we all have an opportunity. There's no law against us being righteous, against us being moral. And if we do that, according to Yahweh's law, it makes you rich with no sorrow. The law of the Lord Yahweh maketh rich, and he adds no sorrow. The Feast of Tabernacles is designed to bless Yahweh's children and make us rich while blessing the entire world. All nations is the whole world.
And there's so much, again, when we unlock the reality of how keeping the law of Yahweh puts us back into alignment with Yahweh. Absolutely. It puts us back into alignment with being productive, being healthy, all of the things that we see as current common ailments. Keeping the laws of Yahweh actually realigns us and retunes us to be principled, meaning that we're going to make decisions and have practices that are healthy, that are honorable, that are good for our bodies and good for the community and the people around us. All of these things are baked into keeping the Feast of Tabernacles.
Absolutely.
And all the other feasts and keeping the law of Yahweh. So I praise and thank Yahweh for giving us this understanding, because it's about us being back into what we were designed to be, just like our Father, creators and creative.
Well, Yahweh ben Yahweh is the Prince of Peace. But he taught us today that you can't have peace and be broke. And we who have been broke in our lives know it's not a peaceful situation. You know how today they got these things going on, and they call them conspiracy theories, but we'll break that down another time. There's no conspiracy theory. Everything that's done, people get together and conspire together to do it. Whether it's to invade a different country, whether it's to defend another country, it's a conspiracy because they get together to do this in secret. They don't get together in open forum and decide to invade a country or whatever else. So that's not the point. The point is that, being broke, they have this thing out there where they say, well, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. It's called this new socialism that they're trying to institute, to where they want to take away everybody's property, everybody's private property, and make it a community property, and saying you'll own nothing, but you'll be happy. And that's the opposite of what Yahweh taught us. He say, if we can't have peace and happiness and be broke at the same time. That's incongruent to logic.
Right. And they trying to repackage, communal living and stripping away your ownership. And that's not what this is about.
Absolutely.
Yahweh wants us to own,
Exactly.
If we are the children of the creator of all things, ownership of this land henceforth is an inheritance.
Exactly.
And
it's
so
our inheritance.
It is, and it's our reality. And so the ideas of stripping away ownership is in direct unaligned with the principles and the laws of Yahweh.
Exactly. And he also taught us that the laws of Yahweh prevent all crime. So when you go from one thing to the other thing, see, the crime, the most pervasive crime in society right now is not black on black crime or man running down the street, mugging a person, grabbing a person's purse, or robberies or home invasions of car. That's not crime. That's desperation on most of the time. That's miseducation most of the time. That's no ethics or morals being taught most of the time. The real crime is corporate crime and governmental crime. Well, they have these corporations that kill millions of people with their product. And they knew this product was going to kill people. And so they get fined and they still profit $1 billion. They get fined, they get reprimanded by the government that owns the corporation. And they get fined, so they pay the government that owns the corporation a fine, and they still keep $1 billion profit to split amongst themselves. And nobody goes to jail, nobody be indicted, nobody is, arrested. So you tell me where the real crime is. This is the real crime when they do these things, these high profile things that it comes out in class action lawsuits, and they restructure the company, and they declare bankruptcy, and the government writes them a blank check, and they continue to operate, continue to doing the wickedness that they went out of business or supposedly went bankrupt doing. The same type of business.
And that is the absolute opposite of what we need to be working towards building. And Yahweh Ben Yahweh laid it out in today's message.
He sure did.
Just like how there is opportunity for you to create a evil and wicked society.
There's an opportunity.
There's an opportunity for us to create a righteous, moral, ethical society.
That will last forever.
That will last forever. So,
and people will be happy with it.
And so we definitely don't have to fret. This is the promise that Yahweh has given us. We fret not because of the things of the evildoers. We have to focus our mind and keep our mind stayed on aligning back to Yahweh so we can lift up the kingdom of heaven.
Well, a show of hands of how many people are happy with this system. Think
if you're
about
in the
it.
Zoom chat, you should be able to raise your hand
in reality,
thumbs up or something in the chat.
Who is happy with the current systems of government and the current corporate structures that invade our privacy and control our lives and dictate where we go, what we do, how we look, how we dress, all of these things. How many people are happy with what they're doing or making us do or requiring us to do? How many people are happy with what the government requires you to do? And then what is the reward? What do they give you? They say they're protecting you from yourself. There's no protection from yourself, okay? Sooner or later, you will be alone with yourself. There's no protecting you from yourself. So all the people who think that the government can protect them, yeah, we know about how good that is. They protect you about as much as the police protect you. And when you call the police, can they get there in time to protect you? Generally, they cannot. But I'm just saying, I'm not going home on that premise. The premise is that Yahweh's law have the solutions to crime, to where there'll be no crime. And Yahweh talks about our opportunities, even here in the land of our captivity. That's why we're not making a pilgrimage to get out of here. There's opportunities in other places, but Yahweh placed us here and gave us the opportunity that all nations is trying their best to get here, to avail themselves of the opportunity that's been given to us, to own it.
Yes, indeed. And our Feast of Tabernacles is a reminder of that opportunity, because our feasts are designed and aligned with production. If you look at the seasonal calendar of how our feasts are aligned, they're aligned with the land and how the land yields its bounty to us.
Absolutely.
It's about us understanding the source of wealth in our nation that we occupy. We currently occupy a space without a true connection to the source of wealth. And Yahweh being Yahweh is giving us our feasts and our laws for us to gain an understanding on how to regain and access the wealth that is our inheritance. I want to lift out, if you read Deuteronomy chapter 8 is a good reminder of all of this, but two scriptures in this in particular, I want to read and share, because it's about how the wicked people have gotten wealth and they've done wicked things, but Yahweh blesses those of us who are in alignment with the law, statute, judgments, and commandments, and in the practice of being with Yahweh, being one with Yahweh. So Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17 and 18 reads, "And thou shalt say in thine heart, my power and might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember that Yahweh, that God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. So you can say in your mind and your heart that you getting wealth for yourself, but it's all about Yahweh. Yahweh gives us what creates wealth. Yahweh
Absolutely.
is the creator of all things, that is the access to wealth.
And Yahweh's blessings are eternal and are good. When you get blessed by the adversary of Satan, it's not good, and it always ends. I'm sorry, the adversary of Yahweh, Satan. It always ends bad. It may start out great. You may think you good, but it always end bad. And there's so many examples, but one more thing I wanted to put out there before we open the call to our family and get our family's opinion on family's help in unfolding the light, is that, Yahweh ben Yahweh said that he was the example. Because people say, oh, we can't do nothing because Reagan, President Reagan, we can't do nothing because President Bush. He said, it doesn't matter the president or who's in the government and all of that kind of who's in office. He transformed our community block by block, no matter who was in the government or in the White House or anywhere other house. It didn't stop him from being righteous and keeping Yahweh's law, statute, judgments, and commandments, and being prosperous and reshaping, reforming the very community that he existed in.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. And everybody who's been to Liberty City before Yahweh ben Yahweh appeared and came to Liberty City, Miami, after he appeared, know the stark difference in what was going on in that community before Yahweh and what went on in that community after Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Well, praise
And we might get somebody to testify who was there.
Praise Yahweh. Well, we do have that time now
It is
for,
that time.
for Power Talk. And if you are joining us on the Zoom app, if you're dialed in, all you have to do is press *6 to unmute yourself. And of course, if you're using the app, hit the unmute button to unmute yourself. So we want to hear and share in this unfolding with you. So please do. And we do have a caller with their line unmuted. Caller with your line unmuted. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh, who is Yahweh in the flesh as the Son. Sister Zabia Athalia Israel, calling in from Holiday, Florida, renamed Holy Day, Florida, because Yahweh is in the house. Ooh, Yahweh. This is such a powerful Power Talk. And our Father, this message it just doesn't get old. I mean, you just learn so much. And, you know, what jumped out at me this morning is that we have the opportunity. We have the opportunity here in this country. And that's what that said to me. It says, of course, we have the opportunity to make it right. But it also said that if we were in another country, we wouldn't have this opportunity. So our Father's a master strategist. He knew from the beginning what to do. I mean, he just did. I mean, and here we are with this opportunity. But listening to you all's conversation, I had to look into the word money because I remember looking into in the past, and it was so interesting what money really is. But I wanted to read a scripture first because, you know, we're so blessed. And an example of that is in the book of Genesis, chapter 39, starting at verse 1. And it reads, "And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord Yahweh was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian." And verse 3 says, "And his master saw that the Lord Yahweh was with him, and the Lord Yahweh made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had, and all that he had, he put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord Yahweh blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord Yahweh was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored." So look at that. You had this captain over this country, that because of Yahweh and Joseph's blessings and connection and dedication to Yahweh, gave Joseph everything. Just gave it over without question. I mean, just say, "Here, Joseph, it's yours. You take care of it." You know, that's just an example of seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. And I just wanted to go into the definition of money quickly because a Google search says that money is a commodity accepted by general consent as a medium of economic exchange. It is the medium in which prices and values are expressed. It circulates from person to person and country to country, facilitating trade, and is the principal measure of wealth. So money is not that paper that he gave us. When
Right.
most of us know now that that's not it. But I just wanted to just look at some of the definitions in Hebrew, because money is a defense as wisdom is a defense. Letting you know up front that it's money, that's the defense, and also wisdom. And without understanding, wisdom is no good. So it's the mind of Yahweh ben Yahweh that's our true inheritance, and that's the true riches. Because if you have the mind of God, you don't have to worry about not creating riches and wealth, because hey, you got that divine supreme mind. But one of the definitions for the definition of money in Hebrew is a lant. It says it's a plant, hint of plant. It also is a valuable storehouse. It says a secret storehouse. It's also hidden riches. It's also village. A village is money. And I just wanted to, and it goes on and on. So money is anything of value, but in a moral sense, as you and Sister Tamar stated, is the moral riches and ethical riches and businesses that are going to be eternal, that are going to last. The other fella has had his chance, and it's nothing but chaos and corruption. So I just wanted to share that, because we don't have to worry. We have the mind of the Creator. So all we have to do is Proverbs 16:3, commit our works to Yahweh, and our thoughts shall be established. He's going to guide our thoughts into being moral and ethical. All we have to do is commit our works. And our Father taught us that if you don't work, you don't eat.
You don't eat.
But we have to work for Yahweh, and He'll guide our thoughts. He'll make sure that we're doing moral. So praise Yahweh ben Yahweh. I just wanted to share that, and thank you all so much for allowing me to share. And I love you much, family.
Praise Yahweh.
What an exceptional share that was.
And I thank Yahweh for that information, because, and it's a point that I want to lift out, because it's so prevalent, and it's so obvious that, but most people miss it because it's so obvious. Money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. Without understanding, wisdom is no good. And without wisdom, money is no good. We see tons of examples of people hitting the lotto. I won 100 million. A woman on welfare won $100 million, and she find a way to spend it all within a 2 or 3 year span and be back poor on welfare. See, that's what Yahweh ben Yahweh talk about, that poor mindset. It don't matter how much money you get without wisdom, and it doesn't matter how much wisdom you get without understanding. You have to have one for the other to work. Even with the money, you can be given the money. She eloquently taught us how money is the unitary measurement of wealth. It's not the wealth itself. The paper dollar has no wealth in itself. It's what it represents. And because we know what fiat currency means, right. We know about Nixon and the gold standard. We know that for a long time now, that paper money has been worthless. Only in ideological is it worth something. Only the fact that you can trade it for goods and services makes it worth something. What happens when you can't trade it for goods and services?
Or it's no longer acceptable. Yeah, it's no longer acceptable for trade. And what that also alludes to is that there has to be something else in replacement as a generally accepted form of trade that allows for people, because trade will exist.
Well, let me throw something out there. When we talk about back in the day, the barcodes, I remember in the 70s, barcodes was on every product, but there wasn't no scanners to scan these barcodes in the grocery stores. Then all of a sudden, began to scan in the barcodes. Well, this whole thing, without going through it, is moving up to that cashless society. Well, we had the cashless society now because most people, if you order online, you do it with a card. If you order in person, 99% of the time, you do it with a card. You don't even do it with cash. You got the speed passes and the tap your card. And We already had a cashless society, but it's going further. Think about now what we were just speaking of. Think about how your money is now more crypto than anything. It's not the cash paper dollar anymore. It's what you have in that, I'm gonna say it, that cyber universe, that online universe. And with the latest developments of the metaverse, dare I say, the metaverse, the powers that be, the rulers of this world, the dark in darkness in high places, is trying to get you to live your life in a virtual world, a metaverse. But that's a whole nother subject for a different time. Maybe we can catch some of that on the podcast. But right now, and speaking of the podcast, that is a place that we are uncensored because it's our own platform. Yahweh Radio is not censored by these corporations. With just take note of that, so we can be candid and we can go deeper into subjects that we won't even touch here. So, but saying that, meaning that all the things that our Father Yahweh Ben Yahweh taught us, like the cashless society, we already existed inside those things right now. If the paper dollar became obsolete, most people wouldn't miss it. They wouldn't miss it at all. Raise your hand if you use paper dollars every day. So that's another thing. So they've already moved us to that situation. And how easy would it be to cut off your account?
Right. And the big thing that we want to navigate ourselves to is really, how do we get into practice of shared economic practices?
Absolutely.
Because there is a time, we are in a time where things have dramatically shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And any slight shift now would be even more dramatic than most.
Mm-hmm.
So that said, in terms of like what happens to us to destabilize economies, hence making it harder for you to feed yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
hence making it hard for you to actually meet your needs.
Right.
So all these things are relative, and what's really critical about how relative it is in keeping the law of Yahweh, being in alignment with the ethical, moral practices that the law of Yahweh gives us, puts us in a space where we aren't consumed by the standardized way that the economic structure has taught us to buy. We buy according to what commercials tell us to buy. We buy food that's not really food. We develop health dependencies, etc. If you're in alignment with let's just say the dietary laws of Yahweh, for example, what you spend your money on in food changes, and where it actually comes from changes.
Absolutely.
You now understand that food comes from the ground and not the grocery store.
And you can actually grow it yourself.
And you can actually grow it. So that's just a small example, but there's so many more examples of understanding what oil companies you're supporting that may or may not be further causing damages to communities that you live in. Like right here, for example.
Absolutely.
In Louisiana, there's all these petrochemical companies in St. John Parish and in other parishes that has named the whole area Cancer/Death Alley.
Right. And they talk about cancer clusters, cluster of people getting cancer. And they're like, why is these people in this certain area getting so many cancers?
So figuring out ways to,
and the plant is
right there.
They don't never suspect the plant.
And so there's work to do to figure out how not to continue to support these industries that are causing harm in your community. And that's where us coming together in practice of supporting sustainable practices. I'm not, trying to promote one industry over the other, but what I am promoting is ethical, moral, good, in alignment with the law of Yahweh, and studying his laws gives us understanding of what that actually is.
Exactly. And keeping the law of Yahweh calls us to be in alignment to his blessings. And his blessings, we have to concern ourselves with being righteous. We don't have to concern ourselves with getting rich. Yahweh, the blessings of Yahweh make you rich. Concern yourself with being righteous, doing ethical business, not being a slave to the system or a slave to CNN or a slave to your job, to any of that state. It's not about having a job. We all had jobs before in our lives. Some of us more than others. But the point is that that's not your final destination in life. I'm gonna work this job. When I retire, I'm gonna sit down and then die. That's not the goal. The goal is to be productive all our lives and set up systems that our children and our children's children and our children's children's children can benefit and be happy and be wealthy for. If I set up the means for my children to get wealthy, then I laid the foundation. Well, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh laid the foundation for us to get wealthy. And so that our children and our children's children and our children's children's children can be wealthy perpetually in righteousness.
And come into a clear understanding of what is actual wealth. You know, our feasts are designed as a way of us connecting back to the seasonal practices of what a harvest is and what Yahweh has given us in keeping us alive and sustaining us. Well, the source of wealth comes from Yahweh's creation.
And well, Yahweh ben Yahweh say all source of wealth come from the land, and that's Yahweh's creation. The land, you can occupy land, and all sources of wealth come from the land. Every product that is made, there are raw materials that you can trace back to the land, whether it's under the ground, whether it comes out of the ground, whether it grows out of the ground. You know, those basic building structures, you know, just like building a house, the wealth of real estate comes from the source of that wealth, come from the materials used to build that property, which come from the land. So you can trace back all sorts of wealth to the land. And now Yahweh gave us the land as an inheritance.
Well, we want to invite our family to join in on this conversation because we, again, love listening to our Father Yahweh ben Yahweh and love talking about the information that he shared. But we want to hear and unfold this light collectively and gain a collective understanding. So we invite you to join us. So if you are on the Zoom app, all you got to do is press that microphone button to unmute yourself. But if you dialed in *6, I believe is what you need to do to get unmuted. And again, our Father shared so much in conversation today. So we do invite you to touch on whatever spoke to you.
And when we consider his words, and we consider that we have this opportunity, this golden opportunity to be prosperous and happy at the same time being in peace, wealth makes you more peace-oriented than mean and angry and upset. You know, it's the opposite of peace. Being broke makes you angry and upset. You know, couples who have financial issues can't stay together. They feel like they'd do better off apart or with somebody else than with each other because of finances. And those same couples would have stayed together forever in harmony had they had true wealth, had they had any wealth, you know, and that's the truth. So we have to understand that keeping the law is the foundation, is the solution to all our problems, to all nations' problems, to all planetary problems, I would say, is the law of Yahweh. It is designed to make you rich, happy, abundance, wealth, peaceful, harmonious.
All of that.
Need I say more?
No.
we have another caller.
Have a caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom and welcome. Hopefully I'm the caller.
You are. Yes, sir. That is you, Brother Samuel.
Hey, Boker Tov. Hope everyone is well this morning.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to touch base because I heard quite a few things, but just one that was said, and it's enormous, and we don't pay attention a lot to it. Is all wealth coming from the land, and about it being the harvest. In our history, all of our high holy days, a lot of our not just the high holy days, but it was our culture was based on the harvest, which was that which comes from the land, and we say that. Kind of jokingly that food comes from the land, not from the grocery store. But because we have been conditioned, we joke about it, but it's real.
But it's real.
It's real.
Conditioned to think that it does come from the grocery store when it simply comes from the land. And we can make a small investment ourselves, each one of us, and we should teach our children and our friends to have a garden. If you don't have enough land to have a garden, you can actually grow it in a pot. And from a beginning, you can, for example, put tomatoes in a pot.
Yep.
And you'll grow more tomatoes than you can eat. Now, if your neighbor has okra and you have tomatoes, you can share it. So we talk about that shared community. See, when we as a community want to do that, we can literally feed ourselves. And that's just from an individual standpoint, but community about us, when we come together, then you can take that to a commercial adventure. And then it produces jobs, it produces wealth. As far as groceries, you can have your own market. When you talked about real estate, that extension then goes into the land because you can build houses, you can build businesses. But it truly starts from the land. It starts from the harvest. And we have to understand a harvesting mindset because we have become a nation of pure consumers. So if someone was to push a button and lock up all the so-called resources as a consumer, you're unfortunately non-existent. But if you're a producer, you become the one who's in the head. And so that there's so much in that statement that we really need to understand and really get our heads around. That it's just, and I just wanted to point that out. So if you have a big enough garden for more than one pot of tomatoes, that's great. But even if you're in an apartment, like they call it concrete jungle, a garden in a pot inside your window.
Yep.
So if you have some land, you can put some in the ground, and it begins to teach that mindset of how wealth comes from the land.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise
yes,
Yahweh.
sir.
Absolutely.
That was well put, beautifully said, and we do have another
Well, I
call.
thank Yahweh for that wisdom, Brother Samuel. Always praise Yahweh.
Yes, sir. We do have another caller with their line unmuted. Caller with your line unmuted. You're now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, praise Yahweh. This is King Uriah. How's everyone this evening?
Doing
this
so.
morning, I must.
Yes, sir.
In the evening and the morning.
First day, yes, sir.
Not morning. This is not a morning moment or a day or occasion, but in language speak, to convey the idea and understanding for those who have not learned the difference between morning and happy rising. Praise Yahweh. So I want to give a comment. I know I can only do it but short. And in respect of, what our sister was lambasting about and everybody else was saying, even what our Father Yahweh is sharing with us, the purpose of money. The purpose of money is the same purpose for why we have a bull and a heifer. And it's the same purpose why we have a rooster and a hen. And it's the same purpose why man has a woman. And also the same purpose why we have a male blueberry tree and a female blueberry tree. And what do they all have in common? Reproduction. The purpose of money is to reproduce. What is money actually produced from? Think about it. Before they came up with this paper, which is called chatter. It comes from what? Gold and silver. And what is the value percentage of money? Yahweh said 99.9, which is what? Gold and silver. Now, Yahweh says, as important as money is, he said, the silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Now, in sense of that, gold and silver being our major resource, what did Yahweh say about gold and silver in value? He said that the precious sons of Zion are more precious than fine gold and silver. And if the value of gold and silver is 99.9, and the sons of Zion, you and I, is to be one difference than what 999.9. So add that 0.1 to that 9.9. What do you have? 100. So this is the purpose of us having the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles teach us how we take and learn from the mind of Yahweh and Yahweh, which was offered to us in the mathematic book of Yahweh, to whereas we will acquire this knowledge and not be selfish with it, but also in the same time be able to bless the whole world with it. Now, with this new understanding of the purpose of money, which is to reproduce, the question is, what triggers it? You know, knowing that it reproduces, now what triggers money? Because people, as important money is, people will die, they will kill, they will steal, they will devalue themselves just to acquire it. And as important as money is, why is it that the economists are not speaking or showing you how to learn it and acquire it openly? Why is it always offered to us in the form of a puzzle? Well, Yahweh teaches us in Yahweh being Yahweh's mathematics as he displayed to us, family, and the keys was already offered into the class platform from everybody's comments. Yahweh, and here, write this down. It's 7 things that triggers it. And at what you call at minimum. One, you have to have
Yahweh,
what?
We do not have time for all 7. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the show. I wish you had chimed in a little earlier, but we can pause for part 2 of this for next week because it is getting very interesting and very deep. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and we're going to have to make that the final comment. I appreciate the brother, but we are out of town right now. Wow, this is a deep conversation, and I hope that the brother will come back next week with part 2 of that so we can get those 7 points that he was making. Great points. And that is our final thoughts for the day. And so I invite you all to stand and face the east with outstretched hands as we close out this episode of the Unfolding Light with a prayer to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeika, Tavo Makutirika, Yadze Rizonka, Kim Vashemayim, Kim Ba'aretz, and Lekem Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimos Soul King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiem Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayam, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you, Yahweh ben Yahweh loves you, and so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Thank you for joining the Unfolding Light presented by the Nation of Yahweh. If you have or questions, please email us at info@thenationofyhwh.com. Follow us online at thenationofyahweh.com, theunfoldinglight.com, and at yahwehbenyahweh.biz. Get social with us. Follow the Nation of Yahweh on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, do remember to pay Yahweh and yourselves first and don't touch it, as instructed by the Honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855. and be blessed continually, according to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Praise Yahweh. Shalom, shalom.
Stop your crying. It's gonna be all right. Stop your lying, children. It's gonna be all right. Stop worrying. That's this wording going on. It's gonna be all right, man. 'Cause you see, Yahweh ben Yahweh is here now. Well, he's a man with a wonderful, wonderful life. You'll be praying all night long. Well, 'cause you see, you don't know if you're going to get up in the morning and lose your home. Well, 'cause you see, I got all these children and going on, and I don't want them to starve. And that's why you got to go and bow down to somebody who ain't God. A man on your job. Well, yeah. The mighty God is here now. The Son. I'm talking about the Son, Yahweh, ben Yahweh. So you can quit all this foolishness and going on, but we living in a brand new day. Well, stop your moaning. It's gonna be alright. Stop your groaning, children. It's gonna be alright. Stop your crying. You don't have to have no more kids. 'Cause you see, Yahweh, when Yahweh came, round about on this time, it shortened our years. Well, stop your begging. It's time to do your part. And quit being lazy, my children. That it's time to stop. Stop doing what you want to do. Start doing the things you supposed to do. Get up off of your knees and be so good. Study real hard because he said you know you could. Well, be the way he wants you to be because he said he know you can. He want all the sisters to join together and be woman and all the brothers to be man.